Nailed it! Nailed it! What's going on, everybody? Hello, Orion, how are you? Hey, I'm going to say this is the last week for the Happy New Year potato. Because we get like a 14-day grace period when you're wishing someone a Happy New Year. After that, it's just you got to wait till the next year. Them are the rules. I don't make them. But how's everybody doing tonight? Wonderful to see you in here, Orion. Good day, all. Boy, oh boy, how's it going? How are you? Orion! Oh, hey, Jay.
Including our outside. And eventually all that will be left is a sparse soup of particles and even the energy of that soup will be sapped away over time by the expansion of the universe, leaving everything just a fraction of the degree above.
What's going on, mate? How are you?
The TGIF, am I right?
Orion, thank you. Thank you very much for the 8 months. The 8 months, how are you? You bring good news. You spotted a brand new Tim Hortons on our travels. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Outstanding. Matei. All right. I'll remember that. Matei, wonderful to have you in here. Muffin, Death by Muffin, how are you doing? Hyperwork, wonderful to see you. How are things? How's everybody doing today? But yes, glad to have you all in here on a Friday evening. Glad to have you guys coming on in. It's what hymn for you right now. Well, greetings from the future. Greetings to the future from the past. But yeah, good to have you guys in here. I have been very conflicted with the weather. I've had very conflicting weather reports, and it literally is ranging from it is clear to it is cloudy. So right now at the moment it was cloudy just before I started, and okay, it's still a little cloudy now with like a little bit of breaks in the sky. Could be worse, could be better. Failed your last exam, but passed the other 3, so you can work with that. Small victories all over the place. You gotta. I like your optimism there, Hyperwork. But yeah, it is. Is there anything to, I guess, make up for that, or is it kind of just move on to the next course of programming? But yes, wonderful to have everybody here. My name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck, and usually we are taking live images of outer space, or at least we would like to. And the weather has been, my forecasts have been all over the place today. And right now I haven't set anything up. It is also minus 14 degrees Celsius, feeling like minus 20. So it is freaking cold out right now. I went for a little walk out on the deck to check out the telescope and check outside. I could see the moon, and there's a lot of haze, a lot of cloud passing over the moon. So that would really impact things for any viewing. Is this the first stream of the new year? It is not, funny enough. It was our first stream of the new year came on Sunday evening when we surprisingly had some clear skies. And yeah, I was glad to be able to get the telescope all set up there. But I said tonight was a little iffy because I wasn't quite sure how the weather was going to progress. But we have our regular Friday night astronomy chat. And always glad to have you guys in here. And what we'll be doing tonight, as I have mentioned on Discord, on Twitter, on the Facebook page, that we will be honoring the first, I guess, milestone that I had up there for December, which was eat a ghost pepper. And I did kind of change it midway through, in the sense of eating a ghost pepper. I don't know how much that would have added to things overall. And then we ended up breaking through that goal. We ended up blasting through that goal. So I'm still going to honor the ghost peppers, which we have here today. Caleb, hello. What's going on, Caleb? So yes, and like I said before, I like I don't get that. But yes, I do like flavor. We do have the ghost peppers, and which will be atop of a rosemary and salted cracker with some beef sausage and a little bit of smoked cheese and some pineapple honey Dijon mustard. So just a little bit of flavor and all the heat with a fresh as fresh can be.
It is an astronaut, Tim Peake. Ask me a question.
As fresh can be. Ghost pepper. All right, where is the book? It's somewhere. It's somewhere. It's one cut in half. Polish stud, how are you, sir? Hello. Good day, good day. Where is my book? There we go. Mate, thank you very much for the redeem. For page 10. Where is also my notepad? Here is my notepad so we can mark down that page. But how are you guys doing tonight? How are things? So yeah, the stipulation was eat a ghost pepper, not eat ghost peppers. So I have split it up into two. Like I said, I like flavor. I like things to be tasty, but I also like the heat. So this is the first time I'll eat a raw ghost pepper as well. All right. Okay, so it doesn't go. You got page 69 and page 10. There you go. It'll be on page 9 because the question does start on page 9. But we'll get that in there. So the question is, what does it feel like to sit on top of a 300-ton rocket? Now, hello. Good evening to you. The ghost pepper is not from our greenhouse yet. I will be saving some seeds out of the other pack of the ghost peppers, so we'll give them a go and try to grow some. But we are reading from page 10. What does it feel like to sit atop a 300-ton rocket? The answer being 15th of December, 2015, Kazakhstan, 14:33 local time. Launch minus 2 hours, 30 minutes. I was standing 50 meters above the launch site. At the top of the glistening Soyuz rocket, waiting to climb inside. It was a gloriously clear winter's day, looking out over the sprawling Baikonur Cosmodrome and the vast expanse of the grassland that was the Kazakh steppe. My senses were in overdrive, absorbing the last sights, smells, and sounds of planet Earth before I left for 6 months. As I climbed aboard our tiny capsule, situated with the nose fairing out of the rocket, within the nose fairing of the rocket, the vehicle felt completely alive beneath me. Cryogenic fuel was continuously boiling off, covering the base of the rocket in an eerie white fog. This sub-zero propellant caused a layer of thin ice to cover the lower 2/3 of the rocket, transforming the usual orange and green livery of the Soyuz into a dazzling white in the afternoon sunshine. We'd enjoyed a close-up view of the rocket as we took the lift ride up to our capsule. With it fully fueled at 300 tons of liquid oxygen and kerosene hissing and steaming within its metal support structure that held it in place prior to ignition, you get a real sense of the incredible engineering that it takes to escape the forces of Earth's gravity. I strapped into many aircraft in my career, but I'm certain nothing will ever come close to the exhilaration of climbing aboard a rocket prior to launch. I didn't feel nervous, quite the opposite. I had waited a long time for this moment, and was only too aware of the boyish excitement building deep within me. We always climb into the capsule in this specific order. The first one is the left seater, Tim Kopra, in our case. Then the right seater, myself, Tim Peake. And finally, the Soyuz commander, Yuri Melenchenko. First, we had to enter the crammed habitation module through a horizontal hatch, and then wiggle our way, feet first, down through a vertical hatch to enter the descent module. There's no ladder, but there are footholds that help. We had to be very careful squeezing past the vertical hatch as it contained the antenna, which would be needed 6 months later to transmit our location for the search and rescue crews after landing. It was quite a real squeeze getting into the seat. Unlike Soyuz simulator back in Star City, Russia, where we had trained, the spacecraft was packed to full capacity with cargo. Initially, I dropped down into the commander's seat and then cautiously shifted across, feet first, into my right-hand seat. Everything had to be done very slowly and carefully. This was not the time to tear my spacesuit. This is not the time to tear my spacesuit. My spacesuit. The spacesuit. Or cause damage to the spacecraft. I thought of all the times I've been caving during my training and was grateful for having the experience working in extremely confined spaces. As soon as I was in my seat, there were 2 electrical cables and 2 hoses that had to be connected to the Sokol spacesuit. The electrical cables were my communications headset and the medicinal harness, which I had donned earlier. All crew are wearing a medical harness next to their chest, which measures heart rate and breathing rate, with the data being transmitted back to our surgeons. Having made these connections, the next steps were to connect my knee braces, which would prevent injury to my legs and during any high G loading that might occur during launch. As I counted the minutes until launch, meticulously reviewing the checklist one last time, mentally visualizing the crucial minutes and hours ahead, there was time for one final tradition to be observed. To get the adrenaline flowing, each cosmonaut is allowed 3 songs to be piped into the capsule before liftoff. I had selected for Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, Beautiful Day by U2, and A Sky Full of Stars by Coldplay. As the crew's chosen compilation faded, with only moments to go until ignition, there was one last surprise. Through our headsets and drowning out the loud burr of the rocket, we heard familiar synthesizer notes and guitar chords of the final countdown by Europe, chosen by our Soyuz instructor, who says the Russians don't have a sense of humor. So, Matej, thank you very much for the redeem. You helped me with the science test. Really? Really? Excellent. Well, glad we could help. Glad we could help with that. So now you just finished planting 160-ish plants for hot pepper season 2022. Awesome. What variety did you choose? Randy Holman. Hello, Randy. How are you? There we go. Matej, thank you very much for the redeem. Devolga Natura, hello, how are you? Welcome in. There you go. There you go, Matej. Thank you so much. What's going on? Oh, JRL, he always left? Really? As he left the rat row. Well, we'll see who we're gonna raid. Who we're gonna raid later tonight. But we're just getting started. And Golganek, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome on in. Glad to have you in with us. And Devolga Natura, welcome. Thank you so much for the follow as well. Glad to have you all both in the observatory today. Randy, you're doing a little sickly, but not COVID or anything, just a little under the weather, eh? Hello from Spain. Hello, Spain. We're here in Southern Ontario, Canada. We usually have some clear skies. It is, there's this very, very unsettling weather today. So adorable. Hello, my love. Hello. Space today, thank you. Thank you very much for the follow as well. Welcome on into the observatory. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Tom. I am the Astro Canuck, and we usually like to do some live astrophotography on this channel whenever we can, whenever the weather is going to be in our favor. I've had a great deal of conflicting forecasts tonight. Some say clear, some say cloudy, some say partially cloudy, and it feels like minus 20 degrees out right now. So Well, it is freaking cold. Not good tonight there. No. Like I said, I will always, when we have a nice confirming forecast across the board for every channel that we look at, we're going to be taking the cover off the scope. Yes, sometimes we do have the potato. Also, I have made some improvements on the achievement unlocked redeem as well as the snap. So if those do come to light, as it were, then there's a few little changes. Hopefully it all works out. I was working on things last night after figuring out how to change a little bit.
Should have gone for the head.
Oh, well, this might be it. Maybe. So this is also why it's still going to be about 6 months until we start getting the science underway once it gets those mirrors aligned. So how far away is it from Earth right now? Webb is everywhere. It is 397,028 kilometers and counting to its L2 Lagrange point orbit. It is also 1,049,307 kilometers and counting away from Earth. For those who are for miles, it is 652,011 miles away from Earth. I made you look through the archives 7 years ago, having just bought six more Reaper pods. Hey. Very cool. He does seem down to earth. It's so wild that it's going to take months to align the mirrors. It seems like, I mean, we live in such a time right now where it is instant, like instantaneous. Yeah, who's the... I don't know. Yeah, I always like seeing... Like I said, how I like with the images that we take when we get our primary focus, but then there's all the faint fuzzies in the background. Just some rando. You gotta get ready for work. Take care. Enjoy the stream. Well, old Neener, glad to see you. Glad to see you in here again. Take care of yourself. We will look forward to seeing you again soon. But that is the distance of Webb. Generates pretty low power, so they got to do things slowly and correctly. And it is just the precision that needs to be done. I mean, like when we're taking images of space from the ground, we don't need to be that precise because we're measuring in a wider field of the electromagnetic spectrum, whereas Webb is imaging in the just below just in the near infrared. So it needs to be like highly attuned to and focused to get these to capture these images. And I mean, it's going to be very interesting seeing but the first light, when the first light comes in from Webb. That is also going to be a fantastic time to see. Chili Cluster brought boxes full of chilies for all of you. Well, that's fantastic. I mean, like I said, for the ghost peppers that I still have, I am going to save seeds. I will cut the seeds out. It's only got there were 10 ghost peppers in this package. I think there's 10. I'm the only one who's going to eat something that hot here. So the other option is to probably dry a few of them, save the seeds from a couple of them, and then I don't know what happens to the other ones. I don't know. Maybe we'll... Okay, I would not eat one on its own. There is very little convincing there's a great deal of convincing that would have to be done to make me have me eat a ghost pepper chili all by itself. I feel like that flavor that worked in with the whole ethos of what I like to do with hot and spicy food. I want the flavor, not all the heat. It will be wonderful for 30 seconds, and then here comes the pain. I mean, it was as soon as I did that little bit from taking it out of the mouth after like the roof of my mouth started burning. So I knew that this thing was going to be, that I was going to feel it. I can't wait to see higher resolution images coming from of the cosmic microwave background, revealing patterns from the Mandelbrot set that all your friends who do acid will be like, I was right. I knew it. I saw it all along. I also can't. The ghost pepper came back. It came back. They're still there. There's still ghost pepper hiding out in the mouth. Ghost pepper doing its own insertion burn. It's coming back for more. It's coming back for more. My goodness. Wow. Right. So yeah, so this was that was the most recent step that was completed today for getting this the port side, and now we're just waiting for the starboard side to be unfurled, which will be starting tomorrow. We'll keep an eye on that, but at the same time, I'm going to stick with the stream schedule. Tomorrow evening, we will have our rainy day astronomy, unless the weather somehow wants to cooperate, which I don't think it's going to. Let's see what does our forecast look like for tomorrow? It's probably like even today was, pardon me, oh, more ghost peppers. Ghost peppers. So here's what the forecast is showing right now. So we have almost well over 50% of low cloud coverage that would be hanging out over top of us. Feeling, oh sorry, I was saying it was minus 14, feeling like minus 20. It's only minus 18 right now. It's only minus 18. Later on, we'll get down to minus 20. Still, that's like a few degrees, right? But unfortunately, this is what maybe the possibility of Thursday evening working out for us, which will probably happen because we're at like an 87% waxing gibbous. And we all know that the mass majority of the time, whenever we do have clear skies, that it is in the higher percentage of a full moon, the full moon phase. So we'll keep an eye on what Thursday is going to be for sure. But yeah, hopefully more people have clear skies, have some better skies than I do. We do have some data to work on for tomorrow from we'll see how it turns out. I didn't get all the subs from all the images from Sunday's stream because it didn't complete its meridian flip. And I went out later in the morning because everything looked like it had gone to the home position. And I got out there and I could still hear the camera running. I could still hear the cooler on the camera. And I was thinking, what? And it was actually still running. The scope and the mount and the camera were still on. It was still cooling to minus 25 degrees Celsius. And when I turned off the cooler, it was sitting at minus 18 degrees Celsius. So the cooler wasn't working that hard, although it was running like the whole night through and then into the daytime hours, which, it's not what we want to have. We don't want to have the equipment running that long. But I mean, everything sounded like it sounded fine. It was actually the motor sounded like it was kind of back to its normal self. I think when the camera's starting up in the colder weather, it does have a bit of a time. Now, also speaking of SimView, you got clear sky. Everybody else has clear skies. Imaging M31 at the moment. Awesome. Yes, so there is. There is another astrophotographer, another astro imager to check out. Check out SimView's channel as well. You're reprocessing M31. So I will be tomorrow night. I'll be. I'll see how the data looks, but we'll be processing Markarian's chain, which we'll see how it works. I mean, I was using a narrowband filter to image galaxies, so I'm hoping that Bortle 3 will come through. But I did get 77 exposures, so those were. I believe I was doing those for 4 minutes. We've had 4-minute exposures running on there for Markarian's chain. Are there any websites where amateur astronomers catalog and share their observations like iNaturalist, but for the sky? There are a few discords. I know on AstroBiscuit's Discord, he does have a healthy amount of people contributing, and there is the BAT, the Big Amateur Telescope. I mean, we always like to see images, sharing things on our Discord, but as far as cataloging them, we haven't reached that kind of step yet. We haven't done one of those. What do we have? We do have a. Nori Kitty. Nori. A wonderful kitty raid. What's going on, Dylan Royal Gaming? Hello, hello. What's going on? Security. Oh my goodness. 14 months. Steven, hello. Hello. Security, my goodness, sir. Sir. Thank you very much for the 14 months. My good man, if you hover over my name, it is 15. Am I 15 months? Yeah. My goodness. Security. Nori, how was the stream? What'd you get up? What were you doing today? Was it more Beat Saber? Were you doing the Euro Truck Simulator? You're doing the Euro Truck? Security, thank you very much for the gifted sub to Stephen McNotreal. Have I tried the new ASIR update yet? I have not. I have not checked it out yet. But thank you, Security. Thank you. Just Zelda 64 today. Was it Zelda 64, or were you doing some interesting things with it? It's been a while since I played. I think that was one of the. Was it Ocarina of Time? Or did they have just one that was Zelda 64? McNotreal, that's what TTS always says. Kenny, what's going on? How are you? You're literally about to resub because you didn't realize yours is expired. Well, Security, I appreciate it. I appreciate the gifted sub to Steven. Just Zelda, you're not good enough to run Zelda Ocarina of Time. Yes, shout outs to Nori Kitty one more time there. And as well, can we get a shout out for Security Live and Stephen McNotreal? As well as, let's give a shout out for Dylan Royal Gaming and Astro Caleb and Astro Jav and everybody else. Just start hitting buttons. Start hitting buttons and we'll just shout people out. But always great to check out what people are doing on Twitch. But yeah, Kenny, good to see you. Good to see you. Doing well. Okay. All of them. The Ghost Pepper. I was just about to check out a clip. I was just about to check out. just about to check this one out. So we do have some newly improved channel points with the achievement being one of them. What was the sound?
Power of Grayskull,
This was the
I have
sound.
mustache.
Oh, perfect. This was eating a ghost pepper. This is not a bonus pepper.
Holy potatoes.
It's hot.
Should have gone for the head.
Oh.
Even the energy of that suit will be sapped away over time by the expansion of the universe, leaving every
Forward. 40 feet down, 2.5. Picking up the thrust.
Well, here's some chaos. Huh? All of them. You probably don't know why my face looks like this right
By
now.
the power of Grayskull, I have the mustache.
Oh, good, we got rid of that one. He told yes and no. What's going on, CJ? Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna copy this link because probably trying to watch that one isn't.
Hello there, kids. It is I, astronaut Tim Peake. Ask me a question.
All right, Hyperwork. It's 3 a.m. You should call it. Just wish luck during the second round of
By
chilies
the
tomorrow.
power of
There's no more
Grayskull,
chilies tomorrow.
I have the mustache.
There's no extra chilies. Oh shoot! I guess there are extra chilies. Do we? I don't know. Well, I mean, I can't say yes. I can't say yes to the question. Am I sure? Yes. Well, I mean, now we're here, so I don't think that this is the one that we're going to be using. So where are all the sounds? I think you guys broke it. I think you broke it. Uh-oh, that's still up. You can't. Can he hear a thing? Wait, really? Check. Jack? Hello there, Jack. My goodness. Well, okay. Do we seem to be back to normal? Is everything? I think we're good. I think we're normal now. So let's take here. Let's. I mean, this is not a bonus pepper.
Holy potatoes.
It's hot. Scale of 1 to 10, how hot is the face right now? It's more the hiccups. I can feel. I can feel the sweat coming on. I mean, this is not a bonus pepper.
Holy.
Yeah, there were some hiccups. The potato filter timing was perfect. It was, right? Low quality optics or whatever does the weird back and forth audio actually causes you. Well, no. Well, if it's low quality optics, it's low quality audio as well. There was very good timing. It may, I don't know if it saved me as well. It's drink all the milk in the house hot. It was, I mean, it burned for a good 12 minutes. I was feeling the effects for a good 12 minutes. Even now, every time it's like, neat, time to go get more water. It was pretty hot. It was a different heat. It's more the hiccups. I can feel. I can feel the sweat coming on. More clipception. This is not a bonus pepper.
Holy
Yeah, there were some hiccups. The potato filter timing was perfect. It was, right? Low quality optics or whatever does the weird. It's more the. But it was a different heat than other ghost pepper products. Like the ghost pepper peanuts, they were hot, but only when I started getting like, if someone had dropped like 500 bits, then it really started getting hot. But these were like, this was like 5,000 bits worth of heat. You know, if I was to eat that many ghost pepper peanuts to actually get this amount of the pain, not well, it wasn't so much it was pain, but it was like someone had mentioned that it was like did it feel like a road flare was lit in my mouth. It was kind of like it was an all over. My whole mouth participated in the heat from this pepper, and I'd say it lasted like a good 12 minutes. So, yeah, that was it was intense, and even with the crackers and the meat and the cheese, it just helped as a vehicle because I wasn't going to eat like a, pardon me, like a whole ghost pepper. More clipception. This is not a bonus pepper. How deep can we go? No, okay, I can feel some hiccups. The potato filter. Oh gosh. Oh, was, right? It's winter. Got to stay warm. Yeah, for sure, right? But it was a different. Well, right. Yeah, CJ, good to see you. Good to see you in here. Yeah, so I do, like I said, there are, with the achievement unlocked and the snap, there have been some changes. There have been upgrades to those channel point redeems, and it took a little while to get everything in place for the snap. But I'm happy with how it actually turns out. You can't redeem quote on that, or how deep can we go? You may have to. Are you on mobile? Oh, not enough points. Oh, I see. I mean, I can't control if any mods do drop. Very deep. Nori Kitty, the savior. The savior. What is the Nori? What is the next? When is the next Euro Truck simulator? Because the soundtrack was tremendous. It's an interesting looking game, but also it seems like I would. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I think Mojo enjoyed it the most. He was like rhyming off all the songs that we were listening to as well. Like, here we go. Coming up next is I Do Believe We're Naked with Funky C, Funky Do, Mojo Jojo, Casey Kasem counting them down. All of the classics you'd expect from rolling down the road. You're on the highway. Your eyes are heavy. But we got the tunes to get you pumped. You enjoy Euro Truck. It's like I was saying before, like I like the games that emulate the real world to and throw in the whole video game aspect of it. Like with Watch Dogs Legion, playing that just from working in London and recognizing so many landmarks that they had. Abbreviating some of the cities or some of the boroughs, but I mean that's just, you can't have a 1-to-1 scale of like London in a game. Just it's going to be a little too far or a little too large. But to have those recognizable landmarks and be like, oh, I know where I am. I don't need the map. I know exactly where we are. I know where we're driving. We're on the A12 here. We're on the M25. I probably do truck sim on Wednesdays. It needs its own day. Well, Wednesdays we'll don our trucker caps. We'll get our aviator shades on. And we'll join you on down the highway. Can you add things to your avatar? Like, can it wear a trucker hat? Can you do that? Will you do that? Also, we need to talk about that Leorn board idea that you had. You can. If I would wear like a space flight suit whenever we play Elite Dangerous, I would wonder where I got a space flight suit large enough to fit me. But I think that's it'd be cute for the for your avatar. It'd be good. All right, so yes, weather sucks. Weather is not in our favor at the moment. But like, what do we like right now? Nah, the clouds have rolled in. So I really was thinking that we were going to take the cover off the scope tonight. But yeah, it didn't. We got some light flurries happening. I tried using Leorn board. It didn't work. Might try StreamerBot. Have you tried StreamerBot at all? Because I was able to. I'd say I found things so much easier with StreamerBot. Like getting the lights to work was like probably the hardest thing. And then after I checked out a video from Nutty, and it all it clicked, and it was just like, man, that's so easy now. So more things are being ported over. Like the achievement unlocked, different lights will occur now. I can better control the lights with the snap, and everything else. Like it's all, it just seems to click that much better. There's so much more that you can do. Like for StreamerBot, I could have an event play if we're starting. I already know what I want to do. I already know exactly what I want to do. You can have an event happen when you begin your raid. When we're all done, we pack everybody up together and we send you off to whomever it's going to be tonight. There can be an event that happens when you start a raid. Clouds starting to roll in for you as well. No. We want less clouds. Less clouds. We want clearer skies. We want more consistently clear skies as well. Like my forecasts were all over the place. My forecasts were all over the place today. And I've also realized I've worn the same shirt for 2 streams in a row. I have other shirts. You know I do. Y'all know I do. Why this ended up on, I don't know. Random question. Go for it. Go for it, CJ. So, for those who are new to the stream, have I ever seen The Shining? Yes, for those who are new to the stream, have you ever seen The Shining in its entirety? I have not. And who am I? Who am I to not see The Shining? I'm Tom. I'm the Astro Canuck. And like I said, usually we are trying to take live images out of space, but when we are having snow flurries and all these comets falling down, all these meteorites falling down, it is very difficult. It is. Hey, where'd that go? That was weird. All right. Kenny, appreciate lurk. No worries. Here, let's, there's your lurk. You're sleepy right now, 2 a.m. Have a good stream. See y'all later. Thank you, Nori. Thank you so much. And yes, I'm famous. I'm TikTok famous on Nori Kitties. TikTok. There's the beginning of my claim to fame. We will. I'll slowly edge my way in. You haven't seen it, but you've been to the Shining Hotel. Oh, really? Appreciate the plug there, Dylan. There are some new designs that I'm coming up with in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, no, I've not seen The Shining. I get my knowledge of The Shining from pop culture and The Simpsons. You're recreating the hotel for the game at the moment. Really?
Oh, okay.
All right. Y'all play nice in the beard. Y'all play nice in there. Dr. Sleep is also really good. I don't know what it is. What it is when just the name of Dr. Sleep. It sounds creepy. It sounds like a chilling movie for like, I don't know why. Like why those two words together just absolutely nail it. I'd like to know. I like to know the psychology behind it. I probably wouldn't look into it, but I just like to know. I like it when the red water comes out. We've seen that in many memes. That's what prompted you watched Dr. Sleep and hit something in your head. You knew you had to build the overlook. See, yeah, I like those moments of inspiration, and you don't even know you can't. I don't want to say you can't manifest it. You cannot, and you can't force these things. It just happens. And that's when, was it at like 1 a.m? Was it like a late night thing? It's like, I am ready for bed. Nope, I got this great idea. I have a fantastic idea. Let's run with it. So it's a sequel to The Shining. So I was aware of that, but how? I don't know. It's like I gotta watch them both. It seems that at this point, The Shining is like an institution. To experience that movie, directed by the guy who made The Haunting of, one of the Netflix shows. That happened, and a week later, still at it. Well, at least see. Last night, with the upgrade to the achievement unlocked in the Snap, it was maybe like 2 hours worth of work. It was like 2 a.m. by the time I went to bed. And it was also one of those things. Yeah, I'll just gonna shut things down and just I don't know, like what I was watching, and I think I had one of Nutty's videos on. No. I was looking for how to control my lights, how to control Lumia Stream with StreamerBot. Because, again, trying to control the lights. But there's another way through OBS, which works through Lumia Stream, and you can control it through StreamerBot. And now we have better control over the lights. So even with random actions, we can control the lights. So it is absolutely cracking good ideas that we can do. I finally got Octoprint set up on your 3D printer. It's so convenient, you love it. So is this like a new what is Octoprint upgrading from? How does it work? I love seeing a lot of things about the 3D prints. And I do manage to catch myself watching some people making a Mandalorian helmet from 3D printing, and it always looks so nice. And I will always want to see, like, at that moment, I'm like, yeah, what can I do with a 3D printer? And then I see everything else that goes into what needs to be done for finishing like a whole 3D print, and I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe we'll just buy it. Like, how much cheaper is it to manufacture your own item than it is with with the 3D printer? you print designer butt plugs shaped like famous rockets and call it ASA. you'd probably make a that would be like a, my gut, yeah. Go for it. It's one of those things. It sounds so like the premise is like, no. It would work. It's so silly that it would work. It would just be one of those things like you'd buy, like someone would buy it for their friend as a gag. But it'd just be like, here's SpaceX. here's the Saturn V. Please have the Space Shuttle Discovery. And then their friend was used as not a gag. Well, I mean, quality control, right? Discovery is an apt name. I was going to say, like, Endeavor. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Walking about the house in your headset and you hear Asa, almost trip. They're all good. Oh my God, every mission, and if it comes from CJ's house of butt plugs. Pathfinder. Atlantis. Falcon Heavy. It just takes on a whole new meaning now. I don't want to use it. I don't want to. There's another one that would. In my head, I am doubled over with laughter, but everything else attached to it, I can't say it. I won't say it out of respect for that one space shuttle mission, but it would just be like almost the most appropriate one. Just think of. Okay, you got it. You got it. I guess a different model that would cause some issues would be Perseverance. CJ, are you writing this down? Are you on another website buying a 3D printer now? Oh my, would Viking have horns on it? Oh no. Is it hot in here, or is it just the ghost peppers? Like it is warm. You're just sitting back watching it all fall apart. And then you pick up the pieces and make like this incredible 3D printed Pioneer. Oh my goodness. You know, sometimes you just can't. How would I think? At what point would I think that we are talking about this CJ's new butt plug company, ASA? When we started off with the possibility of eating a ghost pepper at the beginning of this stream. You just never know where things... Like, I had the rough idea. I wanted to talk about what we've done for the improved, not the new and improved, but just the improved channel points, and a little bit about James Webb and how long could I stall with eating a ghost pepper. I mean, this is it. We were here for the birthplace of ASA. CJ, what would ASA stand for? What would the acronym stand for? Dare I ask? Nothing. It is just ASA. If you used ASA, you'd be lucky to stand at all. Tomorrow morning, this is not a segue for the end of the stream. I don't have any plans to end it right now. Tomorrow morning for James for James Webb from 9 a.m. They said there is the unfurling of the starboard mirror. Oh, Kenny. Here's where we need the replay feature. You stepped away, and Yep, you stepped away, and then the conversation went from The Shining to 3D printing to where we are with ASA. I never said we were completely family friendly. Yeah. That's something I would expect nothing less. Oh boy. It is warm. It is warm. These ghost peppers have a lasting effect. It is a completely different burn from everything else that says it's a ghost pepper. It is totally different. And even if what we're using right now, even if this is for it has some scorpion pepper in it, this cannot be an exact representation of how hot a scorpion pepper is. So, pardon me. We're going to be. We won't be experimenting with scorpion peppers anytime soon. That's later down the line when I can acquire some scorpion peppers. But we will be waiting until the ghost pepper reveals its exit strategy. Yeah. What do we do here? From 9 a.m. They said there is the unfurling of the starboard mirror. From 9 a.m. Octoprint is an open source software package you can install on a Raspberry Pi to do remote monitoring with a camera. Also to send print jobs over Wi-Fi, so you don't need to carry a USB stick to it each time. Okay, I thought it was like another kind of printing service. Like I am like wildly unfamiliar with how 3D printing works. Did the video break for anyone else? What happened? It worked fine on here. We were able to watch it. We're just gonna print. We'll print. Are you gonna print Steve Jobs? We'll have a little. Yes, I like for 3D printing. I haven't a Scooby on how everything would work. Even watching like whenever everybody else is building things. Yeah, I wouldn't even know where to. I wouldn't even, if I had a 3D printer, I don't even know what I would print. I don't know what I would do. I would probably just try to keep printing Lego, and it end up being like way more expensive to 3D print a Lego set than it would be to actually buy the whole thing. Although I did see that somebody did a carbon fiber 3D print for a telescope. Where did I see that? Was it on the Twitter or was it somewhere else? I saw it. Certain things I have things saved on my phone. I have things saved over here. I need to start getting my phone set up with the with either Chrome or Firefox. Lego would rock up at the door and I'd be like, "You're in trouble." No. Also, looking at how much work has to go into a 3D print to make it all nice and smooth and shiny and workable, you'd lose way too much detail. Are you planning on printing a little phone mount for your manual telescope? Now, there have been some people who have 3D printed some cool things for telescope accessories. I do have one. I have one little a little batten-off mask. They're all upstairs. Where we would want to. I did have a 3D printed mask for my little small guide scope. Ankle 2? No, not ankle. Or is it ankle? Ankle. Yeah. Ankle. I'm going to stick with it. I am owning Ankle 2. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome into the observatory. Glad to have you with us today. Yes, so yeah, a lot of smoothing on 3D parts, 3D printed parts. And then I did see some people like using resin and then a UV light to set it pretty quick. But again, it's one of those things. It's one of those things that I would get completely immersed in 3D printing, and like 8 other things would fall by the wayside. Good to see you again too. I'm gonna say it wrong again. I apologize so much. Ibira, forgive me. I did it all night with Kijad. I'm just going to butcher it. And you had said a name before, hadn't you? Good to see you, though. How could I? Well, I know. I'm terrible with names. If, like, there were faces. Pronunciation is, don't worry about it, it's fine. I think we said this before. I think this was said before. Yes, I'm looking back. I'm looking back. It's great that you created an astrophotography and stargazing channel immediately in Slack. It's your new job when you started. You've been following JWST closely there. Excellent. I used Slack for a little bit, and then it largely fell apart after nobody used Slack at work anymore. Everybody was using Microsoft Teams. I've been finding other random folks find it and join the channel. We all lament about the bad seeing conditions. Yes, that is wildly terrible seeing conditions. So how much left for Webb? Webb will be reaching its L2 Lagrange point in 395,595 kilometers. We're almost. So insertion will occur around the 29th of January. We're about 72% of the way there. So we're very close. Teams is no, do not apologize. That is, I share that sentiment. It is very difficult. One of the other project managers did math and figured if we were wasting more than 10 minutes a day on Teams nonsense, formatting, etc., the Slack license for the company was cheaper. It just seems that the certain platforms just work out better, that are easier for productivity, and it just saves frustration. That's the other thing. It doesn't matter how much how cheap the programs are, how much it saves in money, but it's like, even if it costs a little more and it's easier to use, like, go for it. Go all the way for it, for sure. We'll have customers use Teams for meetings and stuff, and all the new place. You just want to vomit. I mean, there are sounds from Teams. There are sounds from Teams that haunt me still. So the next couple of days will be, again, mission crucial for James Webb as it gets all its mirrors aligned. So once everything is fully deployed, then it can start to align all the mirrors. And once that is in place, that's going to take weeks to complete. Months even, because not for another, 6 months is the time when they're expecting to start doing the science on Webb. And if everything goes well, then that's fantastic. Then they can stay on track. So far, everything has gone pretty much to plan. I think just the unfurling of the sun shield, they did take a little bit of time. Pardon me. Uh-oh. I didn't know if the hiccups are coming back. Separating the layers and increasing the tension on the sun shield. They did delay that a little bit. But other than that, everything has been working out really well for Webb. And there were well over 300 points of possible failure on this telescope. And so far, everything has gone to plan. And I gotta say, it is very exciting. I was happy to see with how much they managed to save on Delta V. Yes, exactly. It is. It's fantastic to see that they can add a few more years to this mission. So yes, it will be speed will be decreasing. It is going to be decreasing in speed now that sun shield has been unfurled. They can start to. The only thing that they're going to change a little bit is adding that insertion burn. Coming up, what's the time frame on that for the L2 insertion? At 26 launch plus 26 days is when it will make sure that it places itself in that L2 Lagrange orbit. So like, I don't know if they haven't specifically said how much it's going to increase the mission. Or how long it essentially it is the amount of fuel that it's saved, so it can keep operating the whole observatory, and obviously that is critical to everything to be able to control it to keep it in that orbit. This is the aft shield, the aft rudder, which will help keep it in place, resisting it working like a rudder to keep it stable in that Lagrange point. You thought it was like many years extra. I heard people speculating another an additional 10 years on top of that. I mean, Hubble itself was meant to be a shorter mission, and now here 30 years later, it's still they're still managing to get it working. I mean, it's no Lego Hubble. The Webb team has analyzed its initial trajectory and determined the observatory would have enough propellant to allow for a science operations in orbit for significantly more than 10 years, a 10-year science lifetime. The minimum baseline for this mission was 5 years. So yeah, they figured there was that the 5 years would be a successful mission. Actually, getting it into anything less than getting into that L2 point would essentially be a $10 billion piece of space junk, which thankfully it's just for everything that we've been waiting so long for Webb to launch, and just the superstitious nature of us not saying its name before the launch. Like a lot of people don't acknowledge the missions until it's off the launch pad. Because really, it doesn't exist until it's off the launch pad. Like it could keep sitting on Earth as long as it wants, but it needs to be far away from us. It needs to have that the whole observatory being cooled to near absolute zero to be able to operate and discern that infrared light. So, I mean, it is they have it right. It has been meticulously gone over with a finer than with very, very like nano teeth, figuratively speaking, for this fine-tooth comb to make sure that everything is going to work in zero gravity and being able to remotely analyze and operate Webb. So it's fantastic to see that it has reached this point. And you know, in a few months' time, once we're watching these images come in from Webb, it's going to be another historical moment to see that first light coming in. I would imagine there's going to be some images to analyze the mirrors as they are adjusted over the next few weeks once it reaches that full deployment. Just way too warm on Earth for the absurdly cold temperatures it needs to operate. It is, I mean, it's going to be operating at they want to have it operating at minus 65 degrees Celsius. So we're approaching absolute zero. And even the hot side is still only going to be about maybe, they're figuring about 80, no, that was Fahrenheit, I think. Or was it 80 degrees Celsius? It was still going to be hot on the hot side. It'd be like a giant McDLT, if anybody remembers what that was. But we have passed the mission critical of 69% as well. I just watched it on Econ Greg's stream yesterday, as we were 69% of the way there. So the next time they're waiting for was 69,420 to be able to hit that historic landmark for the mission completed. Yeah, it's like 7 Kelvin or something on the cold side. They got to get, yes. So they're not that far off from the 3 degree temperature of the temperature of the universe. But it is like we've seen some infrared images come through, and like from other telescopes. Even Hubble had a little bit of the infrared sensors added to it a little later on in its life. There was the infrared of the Rosette Nebula. So here is how Webb is with the infrared camera on. Image shows two different views from the Rosette Nebula. On the right is a view of the nebula in the visible light, taken using the European Southern Observatory. European Southern Observatory is a very large telescope in Chile. And the new image on the left shows the nebula from the infrared using observations from Hubble's high-resolution wide-field camera 3. So here's what we can get from the ground. Here's what we can get from the space. But notice how many more stars are visible. It cuts through all that gas and dust, and more stars become visible. And that's what Webb is meant to do. Your hard drive had to crunch for a few seconds to remember the McDLT. At least one person remembers it. And that's what I'll probably end up forever analogizing James Webb to. But you can see there's the beautiful red of the hydrogen alpha that we get in the Horsehead Nebula when we're imaging it from the ground. And infrared cuts through all of that. It ignores all of that signal, and you get to look farther. You get to look deeper beyond, the farther back in time. And more stars begin to resolve themselves. And who knows how many, if Hubble could spend more time on the Horsehead, how many more galaxies would start to show themselves beyond the Horsehead? Things that are obscured in the visible light become visible with Webb. Now, how much can we get any closer to this image? Now, I would hazard to say that things like the points of light, stars, anything that's elongated, especially with Hubble, is going to be a galaxy. So again, millions of years, hundreds of millions of years beyond the Horsehead Nebula, there are more galaxies to be seen. But we miss all that in the visible light. You know, we don't get to see all the other galaxies that are further beyond. Brian, what's going on? How are you? How are you doing today? We're just comparing what the Horsehead Nebula looks like in the visible light, comparing it against what is possible with infrared light, where you cut out so much. You seriously wonder as your ability to move tomorrow. It's getting late for you, isn't it? I mean, I'm more worried about another movement tomorrow. But I feel you. You climbed for like 3.5 hours yesterday. Oh, okay. Well, that'll do it. I did some brutally difficult climbing. But you feel good afterward, though? You get those all the time. Ours is going to include ghost peppers, like a whole ghost pepper. I don't know if we're ready for that. But how's it going otherwise, Brian? Good to have you in here. So that is the same target, different wavelengths of light in the electromagnetic spectrum. It is just going to feel like there will be sparks. Are there going to be sparks? Am I going to have to replace her? We're going to have to replace things. Every muscle in you is just like, yeah, listen. No. Stop it. Stop it. So I know that actually, I was talking with my brother yesterday. He was kind of concerned that we wouldn't actually get images from Webb. It would just be data. It would be ones and zeros. Technically, everything that's coming back is going to be ones and zeros, but we can still get images from infrared light. We can still get images from there. Now here's an idea. No. Tracker, what's going on? A lot. Just a nice long hot bath. Nice soothing. It's been ages. If I were to have baths, I like to shower first and then get into the tub. You're nervous about going to the gym because COVID is like exploding there. Hospital is diverting patients and all the mess. I mean, it sucks. It is a shit show. But I can only hope that everybody is going to try to be as safe as possible. And you know, if you are going out, then you know, just be as careful as you can, and just realize that things are like, numbers are terrible right now. Pretending to be north in Canada and is freezing here. We are sitting at. We're reaching feeling like minus 20 in a couple hours. Right now we're at minus 18. I have to worry about it because your dad, he's old, obese, and he's recovering from cancer, so you got to walk around on eggshells. Somewhat similar. I mean, just there are older people living with us, so got to be careful as best as we can. Like hard requirement, and they have a limited capacity that they track and enforce via check-ins. Track, you're going to be around 1 to 2 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, I don't mind the cold. I don't mind. It's always easier to bundle up than it is to take off more clothes, to the point where it is just I'm walking around with a smile. You got some friends that are immunocompromised, so you're always more cautious before even thinking about hanging out with them. I mean, we canceled a great deal of meetups, especially over the holidays. So it was a tough and understandable thing to do. So understandably, nobody kicked up a fuss. And that's just the way kind of things go right now. So, as always, I always appreciate you guys spending time here. And I always appreciate that we have some things to talk about. And it always, at the heart of things, this isn't the end. I'm just reiterating how much I appreciate everybody who sticks around and those who lurks in this stream. So it is just to be able to offer a place to hang out and chill out in, and just have conversations beyond what the heart of the topic of the stream is, you know? Rock climbing is something you could never do. We aced all the physical fitness things growing up in school except chin-ups. Even at I would say like the height of my peak physical performance, chin-ups were not an option. Everything else worked out fine, but no, I could never lift my frame up. But if you don't have any upcoming plans and need to suffer, well, I mean, like, sometimes canceling plans can be fun in the sense that it's like, I don't have to change out of my jammies. I got a lot of friends that say they could never climb, and they tend to convince them to take it up to fight gravity with you. But no, it is. I mean, I have to say, for this year, last year was a show, in the sense that I was living in England. I was on my own. Mrs. Canuck had already had teaching positions back in Canada, so she moved ahead. And it was a long time trying to sell a house in the UK. It was excruciatingly long. And the fact that we had somebody put an offer on our house, and we're going through all the rigmarole of getting it sold, and they backed out 2.5 months later with no recourse, was incredibly frustrating. You do that in Canada, and you're... And it was just like the fact that there was nothing that could be done. And there was like it was frustrating. But it did end up that when we did put the house back up, we had an offer in very quick within 5 days of putting it back on the market, and that one was seen right to the end. So yeah, I say this year, as much as we've had to kind of cancel things, but I'm at least home with Mrs. Canuck, with mother-in-law Canuck, Grandpa Canuck, Grandpa Britt. That at least there's more. We're closer to family, and it's just, again, it's the tough choices that have to be made. You know, it sucks on your own, but at the same time, looking forward to the future. And like I said, even with everything we want to do here, this is a marathon. There's no sprinting to any goal for what we're doing here. It is a long term for everything. And I moved back to Canada in July. So it's been what, 6 months now, right? July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah. It's pretty much been 6 months. That has, and also the time that we've been off from the on and off times from streaming. But now there is no other moving. There's nothing else to be moving. So we will. We have schedules that we can keep. We have schedules that we can make. We have our regular Friday, Saturday, and Sunday morning streams. Sunday mornings being our Lego stream, which we will return to the continuing build of the Hubble Space Telescope. Actually, we finished Hubble. We did finish Hubble. We will be continuing with the space shuttle. We'll be starting. There are 13 bags to build the Space Shuttle Discovery. I don't know how long it's going to take. Also, the fact that that Hubble can fit. This fits inside of Discovery. It's going to be huge. I don't know where to stick it yet. Mrs. Canuck said this looked more like a torch or a flashlight. Flashlight. Than it did. CJ, I will not be saying that with such gusto and verve tomorrow morning. Oh boy. All right. I am also glad that nobody took me up on the offer for the second ghost pepper. So again, I appreciate you guys spending time with me. And seeing me through these harebrained schemes. Seeing me through these harebrained schemes. What's that? Oh, we're thank you. Thank you, Astro Jav, for the 100 bits. That is 200 cumulative bits, 4,800 bits, and we eat another ghost pepper. No, maybe. Thank you. See, one, that's tiny. That's puny. That's not gonna get sauce on there. There, that one's better. So much noise. Have you, Kijat, have you tried Denoise AI? Okay, wait, can we curse here? You bleep yourself out so you want to check. If I read it, I just won't read it. We try to get we don't go overboard. That's all. I mean, we're mostly adults here. Not me. I just personally don't try to overdo it. That's all. That's just me. But again, I do not overly police when people are swearing. You can get like a sailor IRL. Sometimes it can be completely necessary. But it looks way better than it did last time, by the way. Do you have like comparisons on there? Because I always like to see what the progress on shots there. Oh, sugar lumps. All right. So I was always wondering what the first stain on this mat was going to be. So far, it's nothing. So, Astrojav, you have a little bit of commemorative scorpion pepper sauce on your receipt. You pull your Photoshop attempted final image versus PixInsight. That's like a special receipt. That one's special. Denoise AI, yeah, from Topaz Labs. They do have trial versions, and I think for a lot of a lot of images with using denoise can help out a great deal. I've had good experience with it to the point that I did purchase denoise. Now, earlier I was talking about the Rosette Nebula. This is going to come into play for 2 points. 2 points I wanted to make. The first one, I will use the comparison of denoise AI. Where the second one was with all the noisy parts of the image. Using denoise AI, clean things up a great deal. And it still kept a lot of the details. I thought I had another version on here. Maybe I put it on Twitter. I have to check Twitter. But this was the Rosette Nebula that I had, and I picked a different gray point, so the colors were different. The colors didn't come out exactly to what they should be, but I ran with it anyway. I like this rusty look. But running it through PixInsight, the exact same data, the exact same data, and utilizing PixInsight, I got so much better color, so much more accurate star color. I got rid of my turquoise stars as well. Like, that's what I really was really impressed with PixInsight. What you tried to bring up levels wise was just not a lot of data to start with. Low ISO, low exposure time. If you can if you can get that longer exposure and keep that ISO low, so that when you are editing the images and just not amplifying that noise. So yes, PixInsight, I think it is 100% worth it. So that is what I'd like to. Not so much a New Year's resolution, but what I would like to do moving forward to better process the images that we're using, that we're taking here, rather than mucking about with Photoshop. You think it was like 22nd, 800 ISO or something like that. Then again, you don't know shit about. Also, I think it's just, so for some reason for me, it also tickles me hearing swearing bleeped out. The only thing I would actually like to hear is if like Rick and Morty wasn't censored. I don't know why. I think for some reason that show lends itself to being, you just need to hear all the swearing. Was this my... Yes, this was the PixInsight version of the Crescent Nebula. That was where I redid both data sets in Photoshop and PixInsight, and yeah, PI did such a better job. 24.8 second exposures. Okay, and this was on a stationary tripod. I do see the benefits. Actually, you can see even just the comparison between these two. This was Photoshop, that was PixInsight. Unmodified DSLR GEM26 mount, 80 millimeter doublet. Yeah, the longer you can do, the longer you can have your exposures. Obviously, the better your images, the more you can just increase that signal to noise ratio. Did you take any dark frames? It's not every day that I take all the necessary subframes to get a decent image. Where I feel like I am incredibly impatient with some targets, and sometimes it works out all right. Other times I just cannot get a decent image to emerge for the life of me. Sometimes, like a 10-minute. Which one is this? This is a 10-minute exposure of the Orion Nebula, and that's it. This is a single shot. Some targets just work out well. Other targets, you really, really have to work for it. I did it overnight and got up to your early to get your subs. Just a lot of learning to do. What the biggest difficulty I found, and it shows in a lot of my images, is with using a DSLR was getting the temperature, trying to get the darks at the right temperature. Because I would some nights I would start off and the temperature, the sensor was reading like 20 degrees Celsius, and by the end of the night I was down to 14 degrees Celsius after everything had cooled down. And trying to do darks and fitting in all that temperature range, it's difficult. So I think the biggest advantage of when I got the ZWO 533, it was having that consistent temperature. And even just the sensor helped out a great deal as well. But just to be able to have that consistency for creating a dark library. The issue I was having before, I was having a big problem with with my images coming out red. And I was complaining about it and not realizing what was happening, because prior to an imaging session, like we had the Orion Nebula. You took your darks partway through, if you recall. That's not too bad. That's see, I was always worried that I was going to throw the telescope out of alignment. Like I was always worried about that. You get the 294 MC. I mean, I was at a trade show and I had the original ASI Air and the 294 in my hand. And I opted to wait for the astronomy camera and just go with the ASI Air so I could at least start bringing in everything. So I had this problem. This is about maybe 25 minutes or so of stacked images. And then I encountered this. Same camera, same filter, same target, different night. And I'm wondering why everything was starting to turn out red. I mean, I am stoked for you using it for the first time, because that is going to be an incredible, like the first time I shot, I was doing multiple hours on the Crescent Nebula with my DSLR before I moved over to the 533. And when I did a single exposure with the 533 on the Crescent Nebula, and it looked better than like stacks of images that came out from my Canon camera, it was like, where had this tech been all my life? And really, I mean, where had it been in like the 4 years that I was doing AP before that? You got that's the scorpion pepper. You got the Astroberry to do comms with your GEM26 and purely remote go-to commands, etc. You just couldn't get any of the images to show up correctly worth a damn. But then you learned about auto back focus. We learned about back focus. That still trips me up, because for some reason I have a different back focus on my 72 ED that we're using right now than I feel like I had before. Like, I had pictures of the exact same setup, and it doesn't match what I'm using right now, which is kind of weird. And so I was worried that my camera there was something wrong. Something was going buggy with it, because everything had this red hue, this overarching red tone to it. And it wasn't until the Reflection Nebula wasn't looking too bad. It worked out well with Barnard's loop, but there was still like this little bit of red. Actually, I do have a screenshot of what I was seeing, because I was going to send this over to a few other bunch of people who may have seen it before. So it was this. You can see how in the histogram how the red doesn't seem to match up with everything. You've had the ASI 294 for about 4 years, had some condensation on the sensor, but no biggie, just had to recharge the desiccant tabs. I was worried that I was going to have to recharge my desiccant tabs in England because I didn't have a microwave. And I was just worried that I was going to have to replace it like so soon. So it's like a consistent wave as well, right? It doesn't fit with the green and the blue. But then what happened the other night, I did an exposure on, we did an exposure. Was it? It was on the Witch Head. I went over to the Witch Head Nebula, and within preview, when I was in preview, I took a 5-minute exposure on the Witch Head, and it looked great. And then I went back into the live stacking, took an exposure, started doing the images of the Witch Head Nebula, and it started coming out red again. That weird little line was showing up, and I didn't know what was going on. And then it I don't know, I can't even remember how my brain reconnected this. Years ago, I took an image of the Iris Nebula. My darks didn't look great. Again, this is where the temperature was off. And my Iris Nebula would turn out red if I added the darks in there. If I took them out, it was noisy, but the Reflection Nebula showed up all right. And then this one, I realized I went back into the live stack. I had it clicked on the 180-second darks at minus 10 degrees Celsius. My camera, it was so cold outside, my camera was down to minus 15 over the past few nights that I had imaging sessions. So my darks were no longer valid for what I was shooting. So it was causing that red to show up in the darks because they weren't matching the temperature. It didn't match what it was supposed to be subtracting out of the image. As soon as I turned that option off and went back to imaging the targets, everything, the histogram was normal again. It was like the biggest penny dropped, and all because it didn't click that I was shooting at a colder, like the camera, like the cooler is at 1% and the temperature is minus 15 degrees Celsius. I didn't even have to have it on. So those minus 10 degrees Celsius darks, because that's what I never got that cold in England. It never got that. So minus 10 degrees was perfect. I could always hit that temperature mark. Now we're sitting at minus 15 right now with the feeling like minus 20. It's the little gremlins that don't always present themselves right away. It makes you think of some weird periodicity happening, but no idea why that would occur. I already like how this story because it's exactly how your brain works. It's like, wait, I remember this thing vaguely reminiscent from literally years ago. Note to self, be super cognizant of camera temperatures. It was one of those things that it just didn't twig. And I'm like, I was using these darks and they were totally mucking up the system. So only until recently have I not been in temperatures that have gone below like 8 degrees. Like when it was like minus 8 degrees in England, everybody was bundled up. I need to make sure to figure out how to log those things as you're imaging. There are some things that just, I know as soon as I start a stream, it's like, what am I forgetting to do? What have I forgotten to turn on? Isn't working? I know I need to remember if for some reason I drop to 0 kilobytes per second. I need to make sure that I reset StreamerBot. Otherwise, it disconnects. Troops toenail, or is it troops stone nail? Stonenail. No, I'm going to say toenail. What's going on? How are you? We're talking about Earth. We're talking about the universe. We're going beyond Earth. This is an example of what not to do for astrophotography and how to take care of this histogram, how to get rid of these red images and get some better views of the universe. Welcome in. Good to see you in here today. You bet you can pull the camera and write the log file or something. It's Linux after all. I mean, you can do a lot with Linux. So much more that Windows can do. But I've never... There was a time when I thought I was going to try out Linux. And then I don't remember what took me away from it. Also, here's an example of this. These aren't Starlink satellites, but we did have a large satellite train roll through. These are some various companies. Orion is a wealth of targets to image, but there are so many satellites that pass through. Looking at Thor's helmet, this was another target that we only had like 5 minutes with in England. Well, if you have any questions about the universe, any questions about what we're looking at, we're using a telescope from my backyard here. Right now, I was really hoping we were going to be able to do some astrophotography tonight. The skies were possibly going to clear up, but then I had some other conflicting forecasts, and I guess I'm glad right now we didn't take the cover off the telescope because it's snowing again. We had maybe 5 minutes of clear skies. Via NASA and Suspicion Observer should be seeing an increase in cosmic rays over the next several days. 3 a.m. here in the UK. I used to be in the UK. I lived in the United Kingdom for 10 years. So what's the... What kind of cosmic rays should we be expecting? Where is it coming from? You see the outdoor setup. I mean, it looks better during the day. We have where in the UK? I was in Essex. I was in the county of Essex I was fairly close to the eastern coast. So we had some. I had minimal. No, we were in the areas of Essex which were a little lower income. But you know, now we've been back in Canada for the better part of 6 months now, and it's it's good to be back in my home and native land. But being a dual citizen, I'm very fortunate and happy to have experienced what I have over the past 10 years. From where you live, all of down south is expensive. Now there were many choices where we're actually there's not so much few choices of where we're going to live. It all depended on where Mrs. Canuck was going to be working. We had originally moved to the UK to have like a 2-year adventure and use up our youth mobility visas. And then it turned into a 5-year visa. And then we turned into indefinite leave to remain. And we eventually were able to become British citizens. And you live in Newcastle upon Tyne. I have done some projects for the city of Newcastle from other companies where I worked at. I'm a graphic designer. So I figured it's almost natural to slip into astrophotography and try to show you guys the wonders of the universe. You want to learn how to drive? You want to learn how to drive on the wrong side of the road? Well, it was. Oh my goodness! I didn't drive for how long was it? Maybe like the first 5 years we lived there. It was just easy to take the bus and the tube, and then eventually we had to get a car. That was interesting, driving for the first time on a roundabout. It was there were some pubs up there that I did some graphic work for. I don't know if it's still there. I don't know how things have progressed since I worked there. I worked for the company, but you live in a hole in the ground. We have you got a pyramid in your hometown for some fucking weird reason. Why? I know it's for some weird reason, but why? It's interesting what gets adopted for different towns. I remember when they first opened up a Bass Pro Shop close by. It was an adventure going in there, and my buddy and I figured that we were going to buy ATVs and crossbows, just because of the whole atmosphere. Oh shit! Shoot! What have I did? What have I done? No! No! How do I remove the timeout? Uh-oh. No. Oh dear. No. Hang on. Oh my goodness. Slight panic. This is not what I meant to do. Oh my goodness. No. I just clicked over and it just, oh my goodness. Give me a second. Where's my how do you untime out somebody? How do I? Oh my goodness. Do we have any other mods in here? How do I remove? How do I remove a timeout? Untime out. Oh my goodness. CJ, I apologize. Anyway, apparently it's cursed too. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. Yes. Oh my god. Oh, I apologize. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. A Newcastle United Football Club has been bought a couple of months ago. Now we're the richest football club in the world. Owners and club are worth $320 billion, so the area and everything will be getting enormous boosts, and things in the city around it will change. Well, that'd be good. That'd be great to see in Newcastle. I mean, it's I gotta say, there were interesting times that I have associated with Newcastle. That was like, at least it wasn't like a ban. You know, I at least it just timed you out. Man, that's dangerous. Yeah, can I turn that off? Oh my goodness. It is a pyramid. Holy potatoes. That is massive. I'd love to see the things they could do building the football club. Yeah, no, I mean, amazing. That'd be fantastic. Awesome things. When towns and cities can start to build themselves up, and even if it is with the successful football club, I don't knock football, but I do like to mock it sometimes. Yeah, that is. That's not your pyramid. It looks again I feel like it looks like something in Captain Power. Did anybody else watch Captain Power? No. Well, I know. Football is football, not soccer. Not soccer. Hey, you guys want to go play soccer? Let's all jump in my mom's minivan. Go play soccer. Yeah, no, not playing with a giant olive. No, I said I lived in the UK for 10 years. I am familiar. Although I always wanted to catch an NFL game when they did do the overseas games. It's Lego. It is a Lego set. Football, foot and a ball, hand egg, hands and an egg. Do you actually play with an egg? But no, this is one of our Lego builds. We do. Excuse me. Dropping things. I always refer to it as like a giant Kalamata olive when I was a kid for the shape of a football. You collect figures and models. I do too. Now, I apologize. Somebody did ask if that is a Felix Potvin behind me. That is not. That is Ed Belfour, and we have Grant Fewer up there. When your exes drop that on you and you've never you've never forgotten this. It's interesting what little bits of trivial knowledge in our lifetime really sticks. You know, it's always interesting. But there are always little things hiding behind here that just a little bit of a glimpse into my personality. What we like to collect here. All of it. There's everything. Everything sticks. Everybody always wants to be on my team in pub nights. Trivia. Don't know why. I remember useless things. I guess that's why. But no, we have, the proper Transformers. You know, none of these immovable figures as a kid. You know, there's they move on like 2 axes and that's it. No, these are the way Transformers are meant to be. Awesome and large and detailed. Back when you weren't back when it wasn't a pandemic. I was going to say back when you weren't a paramedic. Back when it wasn't a pandemic, your D&D group was out at a trivia night and they asked a beekeeping question and the whole table went silent and turned to you and slid the paper to you and just write down the answer. Are you a beekeeper? Do you have bees? We have bees. We're not beekeepers, but I would like to actually them be our own bees. Really? Oh, excellent. Like 5 years or so. Oh, it's cool. We were always thinking about where we'd like to have bees and then how much it would be to start a hive, how much work is involved with it. And then when we saw the people come over to take care of the hives, there's a lot of work involved in it. And then it's also knowing that the bees are friendly. They don't care about you. Do you like the Jim Lee X-Men animated series? Like the new one or like the original one with like the best intro ever? Because I loved the cartoon, the original cartoon. I loved it up until they brought in Mr. Sinister. I think I have to rewatch it because like everything after that it's so muddled. I remember like Day of the Sentinel. I remember always being so disappointed when we would turn on YTV and it's like the freaking they would start all over again with the series. It's just like that image. They usually don't until it's later in the fall. You get cold and you start trying to pull honey supers. If I got questions, hit you up. You do a lot of mentoring and swarm capture for a local group. Oh, excellent. Yes, we are. I'm very intrigued on everything that is involved in beekeeping. And right now they've taken the hives. They've basically taken everything out. A lot of the bees did die this year, so we'll kind of be starting fresh next year or next season. Looking forward to that, and yeah, just being able to say we have bees on our property. We're trying to plant more bee-friendly flowers and plants around the area to help with the pollen. You still watching now on Disney Plus. That's another series I really want to get it back into, or at least to have on in the background. Maybe that's what I'll do. We'll throw it on in the background here while we're doing some projects. I usually rehome the swarms these days, but you also do a lot of mentoring to keep local keepers there. For local keepers that are new. Kill your yard and plant native flowering plants. What would you suggest? You don't have to mention here. If you want to message me over on Discord, if you want to send a message over there, that's cool as well, because I want to be able to. We want to be able to foster growth for the bee colony. You stood in a wasp nest once by accident. Ooh, that happened recently to Mrs. Canuck. No, I don't recommend that. I don't recommend that. That is. It looked very painful. I felt so bad. I think it to be honest, a lot of it is just planting things that bloom at different times throughout the year. Now, here's a question. Because it's legal to grow in Ontario, if you would bees feed off the pollen on marijuana plants? I probably shouldn't even be asking this on stream. Could you make that kind of honey? So any nearby bees have forage at any month. I mean, they also said like it was like a 300 meter or it was a 2 kilometer radius that they could pinpoint pollinating areas. Interestingly, you've never seen honeybees get into your cannabis plants as you grow 1 to 2 plants a year for fun, but you have 100% seen bumbles getting after it. Really? 2 to 5 kilometers. All right. So am I a bee jail? Personally, no, I am not. There's a beekeeper who keeps their hives on our property, but I would like to get involved with it as just a side, something that maybe we can look after things over here. And then eventually maybe we just get our own hives, something to call our own. Same thing. It is very similar to looking at an image of Hubble and the Very Large Telescope versus images that we've taken. It's cool to look at this, but then if we take an image of the Horsehead Nebula ourselves, this is not the Horsehead Nebula. If we take a picture of the Horsehead ourselves, then it's just a totally different. Here's our Horsehead Nebula versus Hubble and the Very Large Telescope, but it's just that little more special when it's yours. They usually forage within 100 meters of the hives. All right. Pardon me. Bees love getting drunk. Do they? You've done a lot of different things over the years. You'd be more so helping nearby native pollinators, which is, in your opinion, more important. Well, we have. There's only a very small amount of the property that you guys can see on here. Like I said, we are going to in the future open it up for star parties. We're in rural Ontario, and we just want to be able to help out nature and foster and keep having the populations thrive. Maybe keep mosquitoes down. I would definitely want to plant more. Plants that will deter mosquitoes and bring in some more bugs that will get rid of mosquitoes. Love Shelby. Hello, Shelby. Welcome in. Thank you so much for the follow. Glad to have you in here today. They love ethanol. Bees love a drink. It's true. Well, it's very interesting to see. It is snowing. So I am glad that we didn't take the cover off the telescope. I'm glad I trusted the forecasts that were not going to be in our favor. So it is snowing right now. I think we're forecast for snow for a good portion of the weekend. Native flowering plants, bonus points for food and flowering. Otherwise, install bat houses. All right. I don't know if Mrs. Canuck is in here. We need to build bat abodes. We need to have more bats in the place. Is it snow or drunk bees? No. All the bees aren't on the property at the moment. Just some of the beehives. You're wishing it was snowing and cold where you live. Well, we're at minus 20 degrees Celsius right now, so I will be happy to throw a few degrees your way. Chickens keep mosquitoes and other unwanted insects around bees down. See, we thought about chickens, but now we've discovered that there is at least 2 coyotes hanging out on the property. And it's enough that we're trying to keep the cats safe, that we don't want to be worrying about chickens. Now, you got a weird bad spot of siding on your roof that you've been wondering if you could rig up an anchor of your 3rd floor with climb equipment to get out there so you don't fall and die. We would 100% install bat houses there. Well, as long as you get the right equipment or have a big mattress. Put a big mattress down the bottom there. You know, be great. Chickens and beekeeping is great synergy. Oh, maybe we do get chickens. I don't know. We did look after chickens for a while in the UK. Hey, Ma. I would love the cold weather. You sit in your room with your window open in boxers. It's minus 6 degrees Celsius. So you'd be happy to. I gotta say, it's a combination of the general heat that comes from all of this, but then there is also the heat that came from the ghost peppers, which is still slightly lingering. basically every insurance adjuster's absolute nightmare. I like the cold weather too. It is meant to bring some more stable skies. However, the fact that we're snowing, that doesn't help too much. Movie's over. How was the movie? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Bees climbing out onto your third floor roof to install bees climbing out onto your third floor to install houses, carnivorous plants, sometimes various chemicals for metal etching. So yeah, I could see how they would be. How it would be not so much of a detriment, but yeah, they would be nervous about it. Good. All right. Excellent. Chickens equal free eggs. It's weird when they're still warm. Drone brood equals double equal to chicken desserts. I don't follow. But I would like to have a drone for the place. We'd like to have some cool overhead views, right? Bee drones. Put the little tiny cameras, right? You made a mistake when you were younger. A bee was dying. You had heard about how to help them with honey or sugar and water, so you poured loads of honey over the bee, and it didn't... Oh. Yeah. Uh-oh. You got the DJI Mini 2 the other day. It takes pretty nice images. What is that one? Like, I'm not looking for anything ridiculously expensive. That seems like a fair price for a drone, but I think I would probably want to start with with something smaller. That if I did absolutely up, I would be all right with losing like $50. It got stuck, but it didn't survive too much, did it? Don't contact the squadron. No. I didn't survive. You see, it flicked it away. I mean, an attempt was made. An attempt was made. All right. So, what we're going to do tomorrow. You don't like wasps, you like bees. Not a fan of wasps either. Although they still provide some support to the world. I'm all for helping bees as much as possible. So that's why I like to be able to just be able to assist the beehives in our area as much as possible. Flies in from Michigan, no issues, but pissing off Trudeau is fun. Wasps honestly are kind of chill. I gotta say, I guess if you're not intruding on their hives or anything like that, the problem is when they build hives in the ground, and it's kind of like, unless you really know what you're looking for, it's difficult to notice it right away. But I did have a Subway sandwich one day, and a wasp flew on my hand, walked up to my little piece of ham, cut off a chunk, and then flew away. And a little later, they came back. So it was try to eat that, put a decoy piece of ham on the table, and try to eat the sub as quickly as possible. I think we should give a trial to get rid of the wasp for a couple of weeks and see how the world is. See, the wasps still have a bit of a benefit, but again, it's after the incident with the wasps. I did check in to see how valuable they are, and still, bumbles build in the ground, so big shrug, and bumbles will get spicy if you get near their hive. But they look so cute and fuzzy. You just want to hug a bumblebee. Like, would you not want to hug one? They look so cuddly. See, that's the other thing is I dislike spiders. I dislike them in my beard, but I know they're extremely beneficial to everything else. So as long as they're not getting in my face, I will leave them be. But as soon as they start getting up in my ears and beards, I don't like it. You stroked a half-dead bee on the bus once. Interesting. And you don't like moths, eh? You know when a moth... Here's a dad joke. Do you know when a moth farts? You can tell it flies in a straight line. Nope, that's not it. Where's the... Hang on. No, forget it. No, forget it. No, I hit the wrong button. It was meant to be a laugh. I need the hi-hat, but I can't find that on the thing. We'll get there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You tell people that the golden retrievers of the bee world just don't mess with their hives. I figure you just don't stay out of their way, and you know they're happy to they stay on their own path, and that's just fine. All right. I would like to say, let's see, who haven't we had a chance to send you guys over to? Something different. I'd like to expand a little bit on who we are rating, who we want to say hello to, who we haven't had an opportunity to see in a while, or somebody new. They don't die when they sting you, and they know this. It seems like it is... let's see, who is... We Claire here. Yeah, it's the ones that if you're kind of just getting too close and they get annoyed. That's not what. All right. Okay, I've seen this commercial for the Wheel of Time so much. Wow, if you pause and unpause, it's ridiculous. All right. Let's get this rolling here. Let's see. Oh, wow. All right, I'm going to drop them both follows. Drop them both a follow. Let's, I guess, as far as what we do, we had our astronomy at the heart of things, but we also ate some ghost peppers, and that is, well, that's going to be an interesting morning. But for those who are subscribed to the channel, I'd like you guys to copy that down, copy that raid message. For those who aren't, for those who are not, that is all right. I got you covered. I'm looking after you here. Those are our raid messages. What's going on, Uncle Bill? How are you? How are you doing? How is your evening? Glad to have you in here today. We'll be back tomorrow with some image processing, and we're going to see if we can get any interesting data out of Markarian's chain, which is a series of galaxies within the constellation of Virgo. And I think it looks pretty interesting. I think it'll be very interesting target to try to image. But yeah, let's go say hello to Wee Claire here, and let's discover someone new. Careful eating ghost peppers may hurt the septic field. Imagine if the whole septic tank just go. Oh dear. But yes, once again, there are our messages. She's nuts, you'll love it. All right, excellent. So this is where I learned with StreamerBot, you can actually instigate something to happen. So we start a raid. Something's going to happen. We're going to work on that. We're going to have some interesting things happen here. This channel is intended for mature audiences. No. You'll vouch for Donut King. I will keep Donut King in mind for sure. I'll definitely keep Donut King in mind. It has been a fun evening tonight. It has been spicy. I'm going to be happy to open the window for the sake of the heat. The sake of the heat. I didn't fart. And just cool down a little bit. So yes, we'll be back tomorrow evening for some image processing and see how the deployment of the starboard mirror section of James Webb went. And then Sunday morning we'll be back continuing our build of the NASA Space Shuttle Discovery. It has been an absolute pleasure to hang out with you. I appreciate everybody for those who stuck around for the Ghost Pepper, those who cheered bits, those who subbed, those who spent time with us, Nori Kitty for the raid. And it is absolutely a pleasure to hang out with you guys. Have a very good evening. I have been Tom. I am the Astro Canuck. I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to share the universe. Have a very good evening. We will see you soon. Take care.